The Simpsons couch gag kind of came about in a random way. We were at the Emmys.
We bumped into Matt Groening and some of the people from The Simpsons.
We ended up spending like an hour just hanging out at their table.
Matt and Seth just started kicking around ideas like of collaborating and working on something together. A couch gag seemed like a good opportunity.
Apparently, The Simpsons have been opening that up to a bunch of different artists and a bunch of different content creators to put their spin on The Simpsons couch gag.
We had done guest couch gags with people like Banksy and John Crisfolucci. And I got word that they were interested, and of course we're huge fans. We're really free and easy with these guest couch gags. We just approach people that we admire and say, it just has to have a couch and do what you want.
So once we had the concept, Tom Root wrote out the script.
We were like, what's the most toyetic way we could make Simpsons characters interact with each other? And that led to some brainstorming, which eventually led to this one idea that everyone seemed to like.
The whole concept revolves around Homer waking up in basically the playset version of Springfield. We'll take the storyboards and the dialogue that's recorded and then cut it to timing. A stop motion storyboard is usually a little more loose than a 2D board. Ours is more just about camera angles and staging and timing. The whole design step is one, big process where set designs will be happening, character designs.
It was kind of fun too because we got lots of reference. Obviously there's been how many years of Simpsons? 2 or 4? Lots of years of The Simpsons. So we got all this reference of the neighborhood, the worlds, like every angle has been done. So it's pretty neat to give the designers all right, well here's our world, now we just need to stop motion this up.
We take the actual action figures and we do a process of molding and casting.
We got the toys. I had to resculpt the legs separated like this, and that way we were able to get a silicone cast out of it. And the final product is multiple colored silicone.
This character, Homer, has a wire armature which allows him to be articulated and moved and held one frame at a time. They're then painted with an acrylic paint and coated in a way that makes them look like they were the original action figure.
This is the color palette that they use, and it's very bright and very cheery. The grass looks white right now because it's coated with a plastic resin. And then we'll paint that and it'll give it a shiny toy kind of look. The puppets are about 5 inches tall, so the houses are built to the scale of the puppets. This is part of this town of Springfield, but in this version, the characters are going to be in a matchbox-sized car. They come whipping through the loop. The nuke is spewing out toxic waste, which goes into this pool, which fills up this pond, which is normal for Springfield.
We kind of treated the whole world itself like it would feel like a play set, feel very kind of plasticky and clean.
If you just took this box and opened it up, this is the play set. This is the whole world.
The ultimate play set of Springfield.
Yeah.
I think our thinking and the lighting was to make it look very clean, very appealing.
Yeah.
We played around with, depth of field, trying to make it kind of as cinematic as possible.
Like taking the camera a little bit closer, dropping it down a little bit, making them feel big.
Overall with The Simpsons, it's a two-dimensional show and everything is really kind of flat and evenly lit, which is actually kind of a difficult thing to kind of translate to 3-dimensionals because you still want to have it some shape. This particular set is kind of the one set where I can kind of be a little bit more moody and kind of have more contrast and stuff. It is kind of a darker, dimly dive bar.
We're kind of winding down the shoot. We have the Springfield Gorge, and we have 2 of the matchbox scale cars kind of jumping the gorge. This particular shot's a little bit of a slow-mo moment where they're kind of peaking at their crests.
We're working with a really talented animator named Dan Driscoll. We'll work with him giving the direction and looking at the animatic and the timing of what will happen in the shot.
All the characters we really studied on what they would be doing. So like Homer, we really studied how he would turn around and look at his butt, and how he would sniff his arm.
It's really like working with an actor because he's going to physically be moving the puppets one frame at a time and bringing a performance to life.
This takes place right after Homer realizes that he's an action figure and he's angry at Ned. And Homer's fist shoots off of his hand and flies up and is gonna punch Flanders right in the face. And this body is one solid piece that can't animate at all. And what happens is, he gets hit, we pop in this new body that's rigid. The challenge is making it look natural, like it's the same body. So here we are at Moe's Tavern. The camera's on this slider rig, so when we start, we'll have Barney burping, and then we'll slide across, and then we'll see Homer and Moe over here. So that's how we're gonna try to match up what we see in the animatic.
For him, he'll sometimes spend an entire day just working on a single shot.
Yeah.
It's super time consuming for him, but I think once he's in it and once he's focused, that time will just melt away.
I got to tour Al around. I spent tons of time not only just like looking at all the stuff we were building, but talking with each of the people who were working on it, just asking about the process. And it was really inspiring for a lot of people in the studio who just, grew up on The Simpsons.
It is unbelievable, the meticulousness and the work that goes into this process.
As shots get completed, they get dropped into the editing. Basically, they're replacing the storyboard placeholders in the animatic. So we'll drop in the shots. And naturally, the timing on things will shift just a little bit. So when it's in editing, we rework it and make sure it's really tight.
In animation, and especially stop motion animation, you start with the basics, the storyboards, the VO. We match those two together and time them out. And then we've literally just taken the animatic, the storyboards, and covered it over with the animation. So it's literally just replacing those elements piece by piece.
Basically, from editing, it goes right over to visual effects and compositing. So they'll be doing things like one of the cars jumping through the air or something like that. There'll be a rig that'll need to get removed.
So basically for shots like this where we see about these rigs in here, what we'll end up doing is we'll take a clean plate, which will be just the sky without him in there. And then what we'll do is we'll go back through and we'll paint these out frame by frame. So in this shot, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a fist here. It'll be the fist POV. And it'll fly in and punch him in the face. This is what ends up making him fly off.
So the whole process, I think, from script to delivery is gonna be about 5 or 6 month process for, a minute and a half worth of mind-blowing entertainment. If we could just see Al smile, that would really make it all worthwhile. Just one genuine smile, then we'll know we've done our job.
If there's anything more, of a dream than this job that I have, it's going there where it's all toys. And they spend the day playing with toys and filming toys. And it's a great place.
I'm really excited about it. I still can't believe it happened.